Sergio Mendes. That's so funny how the difference was. Lick's living la vida loca.
Oh, really?
There you go. See, I had to sing. There he isn't. He looks like Ricky Martin a little bit. Yeah, you know, he used to come out, Ricky Martin used to come out with his little rainbow-colored bikini. But he's still doing it for some reason. Get it? See right here, this boat, what does it say on the side? Who owns it? Carmen. You got it. She's home because her yacht's there. If her yacht's not there, we know she's out there and her big friends out there in the ocean. She's always partying. We know Carmen Electra very well. She's a partier. They live on an island called Hibiscus Island. The hibiscus flower is the city of Miami flower. And then in the distance, we have Palm Island. The vessel's heading straight towards Star Island, the star attraction of the tour. And if you guys, without getting whiplash, look over to your left real quick. There's Sandy Beach Island right there with the monument. That's called Monument Island. It's a public island, so if you guys rode the jet ski over there, you can go there and hang out sunrise to sunset. And it's a lot of fun going there, especially on the weekends. If you look at the other islands over there in the background, connected by the small bridges, that is Venetian Islands. The Venetian Causeway, which takes you out to Miami Beach, which is where you see all these condominiums. A lot of fun over there. All these islands that we're surrounded by the way, are man-made by a guy named Carl Fisher, which I'll mention a little bit later. Even Miami Beach used to be swamplands in the late 1800s, early 1900s. You couldn't even walk on there. It was just pure uninhabitable. Sorry. See this corner lot right here with all those identical palm trees? That's a 5-acre lot. The lot of was $30 million without the house. Each one of those palm trees, that's a 5-acre lot, like I said, each one of those is $10,000. 35 of those palm trees around the whole lot. The house took 5 years to build at a price of $65 million. 22,000 square feet. He has a greenhouse on the side over there. That greenhouse alone is 6,000 square feet to keep his vegetation fresh. He's the biggest drug dealer in the United States. He's one of the biggest drug dealers.
Viagra.
We're not gonna stop. Oh, who said it? You came on this tour one time.
No.
You see the waterfall right there? We call it Viagra Falls. You see it? It seems like it seems like it goes into the lawn right there. That's why trees are standing up all pretty like that. Those are Viagra palm trees. Well, actually, when you compare it to the palm trees next door, you say, oh yeah, those are Viagra trees. His name is Dr. Philip Frost. His wife today is still a school teacher. She doesn't need to work another day in her life. She's very dedicated to her job and concerned for the education of kids nowadays, which is very nice. Right here was used in a movie called Guys and Dolls with Frank Sinatra and Martin Brando in the 1950s. Doesn't look the same, but it's still beautiful. If you do watch the movie, you'll recognize a couple of features on the house. The gentleman that owns this house now, his name is Charles Parker. He's the CEO and founder of Parker. The Cookie and Spooky Addams Family was filmed here in the 1994 blockbuster. This is the oldest house on the island, built in the 1920s by a guy named Henry Flagler. If there's any locals in, you know we have a Flagler Street named after him, and actually the island, Monument Island, was dedicated to Henry Flagler also. He built the railroad tracks that go from Jacksonville all the way down to Key West and built the East Coast what it is today. Emerson Fittipaldi, if you know him, he's the Brazilian Formula One race car driver. He owns the mansion now. Everyone device the all too familiar tunes way back in the 80s, all the way through the early 90s. The star was Don Johnson. Everyone knows Don Johnson. You remember, he used to wear pink all the time. After they cut off Miami Vice, he couldn't afford the house anymore. He put it up for sale. Within a week up for $45 million, Elizabeth Taylor purchased it immediately off of him, and that's when he learned that Elizabeth Taylor has a huge crush on Don Johnson. She really has many homes here in South Florida. She just wanted to say she owns Don Johnson's mansion. You guys feel it? Shaquille O'Neal owned this beautiful mansion right here for many years until he got divorced. After the divorce, his wife kept the mansion. And after a year of living here by herself with, I can't imagine, another boyfriend, but she ended up putting it up for sale, and Alex Rodriguez, the the New York Yankees, purchased her. Shaquille O'Neal had a huge basketball court, a big pool, If you look at the doors, look how big they are. Shaquille O'Neal's a very tall man. Those are 7.5 foot tall doorways. Alright. Big money. That house right there was used in Cocoon. Do you guys remember Cocoon? That's what they used the movie. Cocoon was filmed right there. If you guys don't like your hotel room, you can check into that place. $3,000 a day. 4 night minimum. I'm not kidding. 4 night minimum. The funny part is Wi-Fi and fresh orange juice in the morning. Rocky Balboa. We believe he painted it that color blue after one too many blows to the head. He's like, I'll paint it this color. He ended up selling it to Donald Pointer, the shoe designer. We're hoping that he doesn't, his shoes aren't that color. Everyone knows Wendy's, right? Dave Thomas gave this beautiful mansion to his daughter because she graduated from college. Wow. So if you're still in school, stay in school, get good grades, look what you might get. I got a bicycle. I still use it to get to work. This beautiful mansion, if you guys watch MTV, this is one of Will Smith's many homes, vacation homes in Florida. This is where they filmed Welcome to Miami. Remember the video, Welcome to Miami? We'll play it for you a little bit later. Don't even bother taking a picture of this house right here. We don't know who lives there. It's just part of the tour. We also know they're going to be living right next to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. This is the second largest property on the island. This was sold to them for $20 million. I bet you if you come in about 3 years, there's going to be a huge compound and about 500 little rascals running around everywhere. You know how they like adopting, so I'm sure they're going to be a lot of little kids. This was Madonna's place right here. Was having one too many crazy parties. She ended up selling it to Shusha, the Brazilian. Everyone knows Gloria and Emilio, of course. The Estefans, they own these two beautiful property. The one on the right side of the state-of-the-art recording studio by Sony with guest quarters, and they live in the home on the left. They have a great restaurant side. When we get a little closer, it's called Bongos. I'll point it out to you. You guys watch Bad Boys?
Yeah, no.
Bad Boys 2 was filmed in the back of the right here. Remember when the dog breaks the pool and everybody falls in? That was filmed right there. This mansion, way back in the 50s, belonged to Jackie Gleason from the Honeymooners. How was it that he used to say all the time, I love you, baby? What was it that he used to say to his wife? Anyways, they rented a lot for Victoria's Secret's fashion shoots in the interior. This was where Scarface was filmed. Same friend up there in the balcony where he kills like 3,000 guys with one gun. Julio Iglesias owned this mansion back in the they filmed Scarface. Way too many women were knocking on his door, so he ended up selling it. And right next door, ironically surrounded by all those palm trees and bush, that is Rosie O'Donnell's home. The actress, the comedian, best friends with Donald Trump. Take a tour. Alright, you guys, that concludes the start of the portion of the tour. I'm going to head back out. I'm going to go underneath the apartment house with a bridge. Hopefully, more points of interest that now. I'm going to go with the ocean and other paths.